You're not lost. You're just surrounded by noise so loud you can't hear your own soul whispering. You wake up in the dark and it feels like you're already behind, like the world started without you. You grab your phone before you even breathe. You scroll, you compare, you envy, you ache. Something in you starts to rot before the sun even rises. Another day begins. You move through it like a ghost, a face in the crowd, a profile in a feed, a body in a chair pretending to be present while your mind screams from 1,000 directions. And at the heart of all of it, silence. Not peace, not stillness, just that cold, hollow silence that creeps in when everything you chase doesn't fill you. You think you're just tired, burnt out, stressed, but it's deeper than that. You feel lost, not because you don't know what to do, but because you've done everything you were told to do, and you still feel nothing. You got the job, you hit the numbers, you played the part, but when the noise dies down and you're finally alone, you're not proud, you're not full, you're not alive, you're just there, floating, numb, watching your own life like a stranger watching someone else's movie, and no one sees it. Because you smile, you show up, you say the right things, but your soul is starving, and the world claps while you bleed internally. This is the sickness of our time, the disease of modern life. We are overfed with everything and undernourished in meaning. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And he's right, but the imagination now is hijacked. It's not you anymore, it's them. The advertisers, the influencers, the apps, the algorithms. They tell you what to want before you even know you're wanting it. And that, right there, is why you feel lost. Because you never gave yourself the silence to hear what you want. Not what earns approval, not what earns money, not what earns love, but what brings peace, what sits right in your bones. But peace has no dopamine, no status, no glitter. It won't trend, it won't sell. Peace is the strength to walk away from the noise, to say no to things that dazzle but drain. Peace is painful at first because it means confronting how much of your life was built on fear and imitation. You weren't born lost, you were born with instincts, with fire, with clarity, but they trained you out of it. They taught you to betray your gut for applause, to trade your inner world for outward validation, and now you don't trust yourself. You don't know who you are without your routines, your roles, your reputation. But here's the brutal truth. Nothing changes until you suffer enough. Enough to stop lying to yourself. Enough to stop pretending comfort is happiness. Enough to finally realize that the pleasure you chase is a leash, not freedom. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. Not happiness, not success. Freedom. The kind of freedom that comes when you no longer need the world to confirm your worth. But most people never get there. Because it's hard. Because freedom is heavy. It means standing alone. Saying no when everyone else says yes. It means building your life like a sculpture. Chipping away everything that isn't true until something unbreakable remains. And that's the paradox. You find yourself by subtracting, not adding. Not by becoming more, but by becoming less. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, lost everything in a shipwreck, and he said that was the moment his life began. Because sometimes God or fate or life has to destroy everything false so that something true can emerge. So maybe you're not lost, maybe you're being stripped, maybe you're being burned clean. Maybe all the noise, the numbness, the ache is a sign that you're waking up. Because if you were really lost, you wouldn't feel anything. You wouldn't question. But you do. That doubt in your chest, that quiet voice that says, there has to be more than this, that's your compass. That's your soul fighting to return. But it won't be easy. You will lose people. You will be misunderstood. You will walk alone, because truth is lonely, but it's also quiet, and in that quiet, you will hear something again, something ancient, something unshakable, your own voice, not the voice of fear, not the voice of ego, but the voice of strength, of stillness, of clarity. It doesn't scream, it doesn't beg, it whispers. It says, stop chasing, stop comparing, stop begging for what you already have within. It says, be still, be empty, be real. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." But most people never enter that retreat. They stay at the door, afraid of what they'll find inside, because silence reveals your wounds. It shows you the pain you buried under performance, but if you want to heal, you have to look. You have to see it all, the lies you lived, the masks you wore, the dreams you borrowed, and then let them die. That's the death before the rebirth. The ego screams, but the soul breathes. This is not about motivation. Motivation is noise, fireworks for the restless. This is about discipline, the discipline to stay when everything in you wants to run, the discipline to detach from everything that feels good but keeps you weak. You want to stop feeling lost? Then stop following paths you didn't carve. Walk alone. Sit in the silence. Drown out the world until your own voice is louder than the noise. And then walk again. But this time on your terms. Not because they clapped, not because they approved, but because it's true. No more chasing shadows. No more drinking salt water and calling it satisfaction. No more numbing your truth for their comfort. You are not lost, you are shedding. This is the path of the few, the broken, the awake, and in that stillness you will remember what peace feels like. Not the peace of perfection, but the peace of no longer pretending. Let the world burn around you, but don't let it touch your mind. You are the fire now, and fire never gets lost. It consumes, and it begins again, silently, relentlessly, free. So now you know, you're not lost. You've just been looking in places that were never meant to hold you. No more scrolling, no more reaching. Let it all die, and in the ashes, rebuild, quietly, alone, without needing anyone to see it. Because the strongest things grow in silence, and you've been too loud with your suffering. It's time to go dark and become something they can't understand.